In 2007, I had prostate cancer. I had surgery. They weren't able to get all the stage 4 cancer. They offered me chemo and radiation, and I had 5 MDs. I was bedridden 18 years ago right now, okay? They offered me the chemo and radiation, but they couldn't even tell me how to get my energy up to get out of bed. And I thought, I need somebody that knows what's going on. A couple of my sisters each had an organic dairy farm, but they had the same feed salesman. He's about 80 years old, working full-time. And he said, you know, if you were a cow, I'd get you up and going in about 9 months. Says it takes 9 months to make a baby, it takes 9 months to make a calf. You're making so many new cells, I think I can get you up and going in 9 months. And I said, tell me about it. The doctors haven't got my answers. And he said, you gotta have your minerals up. If you do not have the minerals, the right minerals, your vitamins and enzymes and lots of other things cannot work in your body. Those are the 3 things: prayer, and then once I was healed through prayer, then the evaporated seawater, deep sea kelp, and magnesium chloride turned out to be really important for me to get my mineral level up. All of the minerals of the sea are what we need. In the 1940s, there was an eye, nose, throat doctor that said, there's no reason for my patients being as sick as they are. It was Dr. Maynard Murray. If he took a cow and her calf and examined the muscle, these are land animals, there was aging. The cow's muscles were older than the calf's. If he took a whale in the ocean where it's got all of the nutrients, that mama whale could be 50 years old, she had not aged nor had her baby. That's a huge difference. And he attributed that to the fact that there were so many minerals and so many organics in the sea. And that's what's in the evaporated seawater that you got a sample of. Since then, they've found over 28,000 different marine products that our bodies can use. It was the 8th month, like the 2nd week of eating those 3 things and some other stuff, that all of a sudden my stamina came back. I could work a 12-hour day again. Okay, this is some of the deception I see downtown. Purified sea salt. Let's look at the analysis. Sodium chloride, salt, 99.7. And what was God's? 76% sodium chloride. Do you think something's missing in their salt? Do you think they've stripped that all out of there? That's not sea salt anymore as far as I'm concerned. I want what the Lord made, evaporated seawater. The kelp, another one of those things that the feed salesman told me to start doing. Iodine source for me, for anybody. The company says just use a pinch a day. And for most people, that's going to be fine. But for myself, I had lots of brain fog after my surgery. I had ringing in my ears. I had no stamina. I was bedridden. These all went away as I upped my kelp. Eventually, I got to over a half a teaspoon a day. Way too much, according to what I know 3 of the researchers at Thorvin that makes this kelp, and they just say you can't have that. I worked my way back down, but for a while I needed that much, and then for the last 15 years or so, I still need over 1/8 of a teaspoon a day. That's very unusual. That's me. Most of you are going to get by with just a pinch a day. But how many people that are diabetic have you heard have trouble healing? There's things in oak that can restore that healing pathway for diabetics. And there's a whole bunch more. Everything from liver protection to gut protection, on and on and on, that oak can help with. These are a whole list of some simple things that are readily available. And these are the kinds of things the research shows that garlic can help with. Okay, what about sunlight, sulfur, and cholesterol? Let's put those three together, and we're going to find out that they make cholesterol water soluble. Remember, every cell in your body needs cholesterol. It isn't the bad guy. Oxidized stuff is a problem, but regular cholesterol that becomes water and fat soluble through the sunlight, along with the vitamin D and the sulfate. That's what we need to keep our artery walls healthy. Again, I am not medically trained. These are only things that I have used to help myself. When I look at those studies, I look for themes, I look at what's going to help me. Ascorbic acid, I think that's important. I use about 1 gram twice a day. I think that's how important it is for my body. I don't know how important it'll be for your body. But that's where my body gets the free electrons to protect itself. They say that ascorbic acid can be recycled about 4 times in the body. Oyster mushrooms and boletuses have antioxidants that can be recycled 20,000 times in the body. Many values from mushrooms, and here's a website to help you learn how to identify, etc. Raspberries. The ellagic acid was something that I researched when I was fighting my cancer, and I thought was going to be very important for me. And I felt it was a protector for my body and fighting my cancer. Pomegranates are another good source of this. But here's some of the diseases that they associate with raspberries maybe helping. Moringa, it's a superfood. It grows in poor soil, drought resistant, fast growing. All parts are edible. That's kind of ideal, huh? And in the warmer parts of the world where the majority of the people live, this stuff will grow. Last winter we were down in Fort Myers, Florida, and you could just pick it and eat it. Look at all of the different, how rich it is in nutrition. And it is a good meat substitute. Black cumin, it's one of the daisies. They found that if patients who are having chemotherapy take black cumin, they can give them way less chemotherapy. Now that's going to cut down on the toxins, but they soon figured out it cuts way down beyond. You know, if they cut the chemotherapy in half, it doesn't just cut the toxins down by half, it cuts them way down. And so that was a real finding for them. And I don't know, there's probably 25 at least other major diseases that they have been studying intensely for the last 10-15 years with black cumin. Dandelions, pick them from a pesticide and fertilizer free area, and they work with our liver to restore that. The liver responds to both the root and the leaves. If you're going to dig the root in the fall, it's got all the inulin stored in it. And here's a little recipe on how you can make infused vinegar. So you just take like a tablespoon of that a day and mix that in your water or something, and it'll help. Some of the other inulin sources, that's a prebiotic. That helps the gut work better, okay? Jerusalem artichoke, chicory, garlic, leeks. How to eat it, where to pick it. You know, if you pick it in the shade, it's not as bitter as if you pick it out in the bright sunlight. If you soak it in salt water for 15 minutes and boil it, most of the bitterness goes away even. But very healthy for you. There's a whole thing on bitters. And if you got any of these kinds of problems, you might think about bitters. And here's a list of them for you to look at. But bottom line is they're going to make your enzymes working better, your bile being produced better. Enzymes are our bank account. Most people at about age 40 start becoming low on enzymes. When do you think you start aging? About 40. We age a whole lot more than we did before 40, okay? So make sure we're getting enzymes every day. That's a whole big topic you want to study. Fermented and pickled foods, tablespoon even a day can make a big difference for you. Here's my simple recipe for making sauerkraut just on the kitchen counter. In 3, 4, 5 days it's ready. Good enzymes, good nutrition there. Absolute greens. This is the one that I found is, I think, the best tasting, but also has the largest variety of things. God is the correct foundation. And in His creation, there's a lot of answers for our health problems if we start eating a wide variety of good food. And you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. I started out thinking evolution was the truth. The Lord guided me to a man that could teach me the truth. And I hope you could see tonight that random chance, mutations, natural selection, and time are scientifically impossible. It takes an eternal mind of our eternal God to make what we see today.